It was a trend already in motion, but after Russia's attack on Ukraine, the military buildup among Balkan countries gained new steam. Romania is also joining this mini regional arms race. Its defense ministry recently announced it made a $321 million deal with the Turkish company Baykar for the TB2 drones. Nearly a year into the war in Ukraine, Romania, along with other regional countries, are seeking to transform their militaries with new equipment and weapon systems. The general manager of Baykar also confirmed the contract, saying Romania has joined a long list of states that have bought the TB2 drones. Let's take a closer look. Romania will become the second EU country after Poland to operate TB2s and the third European NATO member to order them besides Turkey. And as for other Balkan countries, Albania signed a deal to buy 3 Baykar drones in December last year. Serbia, Bulgaria and Kosovo have also expressed interest in buying Turkish UAVs. Okay, let's get more on this deal. I'm joined from Bucharest by Antonia Colibasanu. She's a senior analyst and chief operating officer at Geopolitical Futures. Great to have you with us on the show. Now, what does this multi-million-dollar deal mean for relations between Ankara and Bucharest? And what geopolitical implications can this have on the wider region?
Thank you for having me, first of all, and hello to everyone in Istanbul. Well, indeed, this is very important with regards to our region, to the wider Black Sea region, I would say, from a geopolitical perspective, taking into account the strategic partnership that Romania has with Turkey, but also taking into account that Romania has a strategic partnership with Poland, and Poland too has Bayraktar. And obviously, considering that Turkey, Romania, and Poland are basically the frontier main countries right now for NATO and European defense, I believe that this is tied to the NATO enforcement positions and NATO capabilities, interoperability, and basically forging a common wording, if you will, for defense in the wider region.
Right. When we talk specifically about Romania and the significance of the deal, I mean, we are talking about the former Eastern Bloc country that has leaned more towards the West in recent decades, especially in the wake of the conflict in Ukraine. And this is not the only purchase that Romania is making following Russia's attack on Ukraine.
That is correct. Basically, we are seeing an increase in purchasing for defense and an increase in defense spending, with Romania trying to go above the 2% that was recommended for NATO spending for NATO members in regards to defense spending. But not only because it was recommended, but also because it is a change in our mindset in Eastern Europe with regards to what it means to be a frontier country. Now that we have Ukraine in war, and we have the Black Sea in a war zone. So our mentality, if you will, in Eastern Europe has changed, because we've seen that it is possible for a war to break. And therefore, we need to be prepared, and we need to not only prepare our own resilience, but also prepare for defense.
And these drones have been used by Ukraine as well, and quite successfully. Did this have an impact on the countries in the region and Romania as well to purchase particularly TB2s?
I believe that has an impact. Obviously, the fact that they have been used already, not only in Ukraine, but also in other places in South Caucasus and Syria as well. So we are beyond the test case, if we will, for these drones. And I believe that, as I said, the second element to this is basically maintaining interoperability between Poland, Romania, and Turkey. And obviously, considering the utility of these drones, which can only not only be used for surveillance, but also for attack, basically having a dual functioning, as I understand. Therefore, they were regarded to be very useful. Now, we have to take into account that they will be operated by the land forces. So these are important for logistical purposes and for strategic purposes, because we are talking about the 18th Brigade in Timișoara in Western Romania that will be using the drones mostly for their operations, which regard surveillance. So this basically tells me, as a geopolitical analyst now, that we are seeking to connect between the frontier countries with regards to what kind of information we are getting, but also in the prospect of a potential fighting, of a potential defense operations in the Black Sea. We want to have similar information in the same time, and the use of these drones make that happen. That's my thinking as a geopolitical analyst, not being a military specialist.
Right, right, of course. And then we have covered so many times here on the show how several countries are joining, several countries in the Balkans are joining this mini arms race. But how dangerous this can actually be? We were talking even about countries like Serbia and the surroundings purchasing more and more weapons. But let's not forget, this region particularly has so many unresolved issues.
That is true, and it is very well that you point that out. We are talking about using drones at a time where tensions are high. We have the Black Sea in an effective war zone. We have the Balkans basically reconstructing themselves still after the 90s war. And we are realizing again in European history that we are part of a key region for European stability. That said, I don't believe that it is dangerous for us to become armed necessarily because we are looking at increasing our capabilities of getting information from the ground. So the drones, the main element that the drones provide to the Romanian army and to all armies that are getting them is basically a function of getting information fast in real time. And that is key for understanding strategy. That is key for deterrence more than defense. Of course, this particular type of drones can also carry on attack. But from what I've understood from military specialists, they are basically used in attack whenever it is really ultimate necessary to be used. So I see this as a factor of deterrence. I see this as a factor of increasing our resilience as we are becoming more exposed, considering Russian aggression and considering the key elements that we have with regards to the conflict. We need information. We need to provide our military with good information on logistics and good information on what's going on the ground with regards to our enemy, if ever the enemy comes way closer to our
right,
borders.
Especially as this war has been so unpredictable. So information is definitely something that can secure the region. Antonia, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much for being our guest on Across the Balkans. And thank you for watching this episode. That's it for this week. We'll leave you with pictures from International Workers' Day that was celebrated throughout the Balkans on May the 1st. Many in the region marked the day with peaceful marches and demonstrations calling for better rights and higher salaries, while others just enjoy their day off with a barbecue. That's very typical for the Balkan people. See you next time. Do stay with us.